From CBS News, this is The Early Show. Live from Fifth Avenue in New York City.
We hear a lot about the millions of Americans who are caught between raising their children and caring for their aging parents. But what happens when the person in the middle needs care? One Nashville family knows this struggle firsthand. 17-year-old Julia Nettles and her 13-year-old brother Alan are now the main caregivers for their mother. CBS News correspondent Mark Strassman has their story.
Use that bolt right there.
Most parents ask their kids for help, but Nancy Williams Nettles, Julia and Alan's mother, can't live without it.
Al's gonna have to open this.
8 years ago, this family's life turned upside down.
I woke up one morning and I was numb on my left side.
The diagnosis was MS. Nancy was 32, a single mother.
Can you pour this in here?
Simple tasks, now impossible. On bad days, Nancy can lose her memory and her balance.
She starts off okay, but then just everything stops working correctly and she'll fall.
Scared?
I was scared, I was angry, I was hurt. I didn't understand why me.
And suddenly, their family roles were reversed. The kids became the caregivers.
All parents want their teenagers to help.
Yeah.
You know your mom needs your help.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Certainly the families feel very alone in these situations, and the kids, of course, feel alone.
But they're not. One recent study found as many as 1.4 million children between 8 and 18 years old care for a sick or disabled parent. Those young caregivers are often depressed, angry, overwhelmed by responsibility. Not Julia Nettles. Besides helping run the household, this high school senior is an honor student.
There are a lot of kids in this class probably who couldn't have handled that, right?
That certainly would be the case. It made me respect her even more.
The way her kids have stepped up has made
Oh yes, there's
huge
no
difference.
Yeah, there's no question her kids have been a tremendous help to her.
Nancy's form of MS is progressive, which means over time, chances are her loss of mobility and loss of memory will only get worse. So if anything, she's going to need even more care. By this fall, that could be a real worry. Julia hopes to go to the University of Chicago, hundreds of miles away. Her mother approves.
I have to, because I want her to go and do what she needs to do for herself.
I think we'll just figure a way to handle it as best we can.
And what are you going to do? I mean, sure, you have Alan, but half the help will go to college.
I don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea.
This family always puts on a brave face, but underneath there's constant concern.
Have I taken away their teenage years, their adolescence, their fun? They always tell me, no, Mom, it's okay, we're cool. But I always think about that.
Do you worry?
Yes.
A lot?
Yes.
MS also robbed Nancy of something else. She was a trained opera singer who loved to perform.
And I just knew my life as a musician, as a singer, was over.
But then,
please put your hands together for Miss Nancy Williams.
This jazz blues combo in Nashville finally convinced her back on stage.
Are you?
Nearby, a music stand holds her lyrics, just in case her memory plays its tricks, which it often does. But a special part of the old Nancy is alive again.
You make me feel. I can step out of this disease, step out of myself, step out of all my problems and the struggles, and become another person. It's almost like the best pain medicine on the face of the planet.
She's much more confident up there, and she can tell that's the only time she's really, really happy with her life.
Worries and troubles, I've had my share.
For The Early Show, Mark Strassman, CBS News, Nashville.
And of course, sometimes even elderly parents can care for their grown children, but Nancy says her parents are too old and they live in New York, many, many miles away. You can find out more about this issue on our website at cbsnews.com. Let's go back outside where Dave has our final check of the weather. Morning, Dave.